Final battle's pretty easy. At least I think it is. And yet again, another toy soldier. Like, all these last bosses look the same. So what this guy's gonna do is he's gonna fire a circular pattern of lasers like that. What I do is like just... I mean, it's pretty much the only way it can be done, I think. Is to stand down by his feet. Ooh, lost my shield. And, and just, like, well, he'll spit out those platforms that you can ride up, but sometimes he'll wait too long to spit out the platforms and you can't get on them, and if you can't, then don't bother trying to. There we go, we got some good hits there. Close range, maximum damage, hell yeah. Yeah. But if you can stay in between the laser that shoots straight down and the ones next to it, then you're okay. But if he waits too long to shoot the lasers so that you can't get on the platforms in between them, yeah, like, see, we'll be able to get him this time. Just make sure you time your jumps just right, and it doesn't take too long, you'll have him. Just nail him in the head, which is obviously his only vulnerable spot, as is the case with most bosses. There you go. He's a goner. This music is absolutely perfect here. Just all through the ending, it's perfect. I've saved you, my lady! Now let's go home and celebrate. No one ever imagined that the princess's bracelet was such a powerful, magical weapon. Even the princess herself was wearing it and didn't know any better. Excuse me. It's kind of a long ending, actually. This might take about a whole video itself, because the credit sequence is really long, but the music is epic, so I'll let you out of that. So, this is a pretty awesome game, all in all. Sometimes music can just totally save a game, and in this case, I think it does. I mean, I can't imagine that I would have liked this game much at all if not for the music. And sometimes that just makes all the difference. It's part of the atmosphere. And that... well, the graphics are nothing to sneeze at either. I mean, obviously, when the Super Nintendo first came out, they tried to milk it for as much as they could. And I think with games like this, they might have, you know, realized what the limits were and tried to hold it back at that. You know, there's certain times you see a lot of slowdown. Even on the console, you would see slowdown sometimes. And so, I think they learned with games like this what the limit was and not to, you know, go beyond it. Zombie! Well, that's an original name for an enemy. But it actually is an original name for a Cranberry song. Whoever's playing this on these demos here totally, you know, gets Arthur in the worst possible places before pausing to show what the enemy's name is, like right here. Look at that. He was just about to get hit and he stops right there. Oh, and these enemies are called Ghosts. Cool. I never would have guessed that that's what they were called. Damn. Taking me by surprise here. Let's see what a dire situation he can get into this time. Oh, that's nice. You better throw your weapon again. That's the Mimic, of course. Yeah, maybe this is Final Fantasy. I don't know. As much as I talk about Final Fantasy, you think I'd try LPing one. I LP'd Final Fantasy VI, yeah. That's the only Final Fantasy LP I've done yet, though. But I've played... look at that! Look at that! Look at that! He was this close to getting hit there. Oh. Woo! Oh, okay. That must be the guy who directed Face Off. What about the ones that spit fire? Are they also woo? Or maybe they're who? Who hot? Yeah, he always fights him with that weapon, too. I guess eventually I should make a video, like, showing all the weapons and what all their magical spells are, because I'm a little curious myself. Well, at least he didn't well, he was waiting for the bird to stick his neck out, that's why. Cockatrice and Mini-Wing. Those Mini-Wings can be pretty annoying, actually. I didn't do them justice. And then we skip up to the fourth boss for some ungodly reason. I guess the second and third bosses didn't have names or something. Look at that, he's jumping right into him! Ah! Hydra. Ooh. Kelly. Kelly. See, now we skip up to the 6th boss. What about the 5th one? Did he have a name? I don't know. Well, this boss couldn't possibly have a name because there's 2 of him. Unless his name is... Oh my god, you jumped right into it and then paused the game, you know? It's like... Oh, Asuto Roto. That's kind of a cool name, I guess. It's a purple hair and everything. Now let's see what his twin bro's name is, huh? I know what his name is, but if you would ask me that, like, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to tell you for nothing. I don't care what kind of threat you made, I wouldn't have been able to extract that name from my memory. But here it comes. It is... Nebiroth. You know, there's not a lot of... Something about the letter N. Things that start with the letter N are always nice things. Maybe it's just because my mom's name starts with the letter N, so I tend to think of things that start with N as soft, sweet things. So this guy jumps between the lasers. It can be done that way, but I don't like doing it that way. This is too risky, and that's Sardius, the final boss. He looks much like an enemy that you fight in Mischief Makers, which is an enemy, but on Mischief Makers you grab him by his feet and like slam him against the ground repeatedly. I kind of missed that game. It was a weird game, actually. I don't know if it was as weird as Yoshi's story. That was pretty weird too. Red Arimmer Ace. Yeah, there were definitely aces, that's for sure. And of course, none other than... Let me see, I did get her name right? Princess Guinevere. No, Princess Prin. Bust 88, waist 58, hips 90. Is that what that said? How could she... Oh my god. Well, I guess when she goes to the movies, she takes up 7 rows, huh? Maybe her shadow weighs 42 pounds? No. I don't know, dude. Maybe when she sits around the castle, she really sits around the castle. Oh, of course, you gotta have an epic shot of King Arthur here. Kick-ass. Knight Arthur of the Round Table. Round Table? Would you rather have a square one? Oh no, round will be fine. Now they're riding together on a horse, it's so sweet. No big parades or anything going on around, it's just us, you know. And she's got blue hair, that's kind of cool too, I guess. And you see girls with green hair, like Rydia and Terra, and then you see girls with purple hair, like Luca and Sue and Grandia and who knows who else. But you don't see a lot with blue hair. I'm sure there are a lot, and I'm just not thinking of them. I mean, shoot, there's probably one in another game that I'm playing right now that I'm not thinking of. Hell, there's probably a version of Princess Zelda out there somewhere that has blue hair. I wouldn't even know. We have a water hand that has blue hair. A couple of them, actually. One of these days I'm gonna have to do something with those water hands, I tell you. Put some movies up here or something. If I can figure out how to make movies, like animation, it takes so long, because you gotta draw every single frame, and you gotta get it just right. I mean, with our movies, we always just did them like comic strips, you know, we just draw a picture of them and then do a speech bubble. The hardest things were like action scenes, and occasionally we might throw up like 20 frames, but then you're trying to record it with a VCR, so you gotta push record, and then, you know how some, well, god, that takes way too long to explain. Well, you know how some VCRs, like when you record with them, it says REC on the screen, and it'll show those letters for a second, and then those letters will disappear, and it'll show the letters again a little bit smaller, and that's when it actually starts recording. So you'd have to get this whole timing thing down so that each frame of the animation only showed up for so many seconds. Man, my throat is driving me crazy. I can't even stand the way it sounds right now. I'm just, like all these words are coming out like this right now. Ugh. I'm gonna have to stop recording for a few days. I hope I got enough that I can post. I mean, I'm sure I got enough to post. I'm just, that's not a problem. It's just gonna be such a busy time. I got a busy week coming up, actually. Or a busy weekend, I guess. And there you go, presented by Capcom. Oh, 18 minutes, that's not bad. I'll have to split it up, but oh well. So we're riding off into the sunrise. Most people ride off into the sunset, we're riding off into the sunrise, because it's a new day. Nice picture. That's awesome. The end, and of course they had to leave it unresolved like they always do. I wouldn't even know if they ever made a sequel to this game. I really wouldn't. But yep, we saved the day, everything's good. So, I believe that's all for this LP of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I'm not going to jabber on any longer than I have to, because quite frankly, I just ain't in no condition to be doing that. So, everybody have a good day, and I'll see you on the next LP, whatever it happens to be. Probably Castlevania 4. So, see you later.